So I used to quite like the anti-establishment populist Democrats on issues like trade, immigration and draining the swamp. Bernie Sanders was actually pretty close to President Trump a few years ago. But recently, and as we see more and more of their actual policies, it's all gone nuts. Here on The Next Revolution, we call them the loony left, and nothing these days is as loony and polarizing as the Green New Deal. And now kids are getting involved. Take a look at some children and young adults pressuring Senator Dianne Feinstein to support the Green New Deal.
We are trying to ask you to vote yes on the Green New Deal.
Please.
Okay, I'll tell you what. We have our own Green New Deal.
Some scientists have said that we have 12 years to turn this around.
Well, it's not
The
going to get
government's
turned
supposed-
around in 10 years.
the
What we
government's
can do
Senator, if
is
this doesn't
put
get turned around in 10 years, you're looking at the faces of the people who are going to be living with these consequences.
I'm trying to do the best I can, which was to write a responsible resolution.
Any plan that doesn't
has-
take bold, transformative action is not going to be what we need.
We
Well,
need your leadership.
you know better than I do.
Why don't
So
you
I think one day you should run for the Senate.
I just thought that was so, like she's getting a ton of grief, Senator Feinstein, for sort of not handling that well. I just thought this was so obnoxious. The using those children as props, the rudeness, the hectoring, the lack of respect. I thought, and plus, the kids going in there just going on about the Green New Deal in this uncritical manner. But just before we talk about it, one other thing I want to bring up which really frightened me, same sort of thing, this kind of belligerence now from the left, is this tweet from AOC about the Green New Deal this week. Look at that. If you don't like the Green New Deal, come up with your own proposals. Listen to this phrase. Until then, we're in charge. That's really chilling. It's a sort of authoritarianism to her. And she's getting, I don't know, I'm really worried about the whole thing.
On the left, first of all, the environment is their religion because it's replaced God and family and everything else. So you have to understand that, this is really the flashpoint on the left. It also is, it's incredible to me that on your populist point, it is so elitist.
Yes,
because
exactly right.
Everything that they're talking about is going to make energy more expensive. Who does that hurt? Not rich people so much. It hurts poor working people. It's terrible. They get rid of jobs all over the place.
Yes.
They're saying it's going to bring out all these other jobs that you need a lot of education and skill for. So it's incredibly elitist, just like when they said at Amazon, those are scraps jobs. And you're like, well, AOC, $150,000 a year might be a scrap to you, but I don't think it was to the people in your district, but you wouldn't know because you're never there and you don't have an office or a phone or any way for anyone to contact you. But
so I've been in those situations where people come and approach you and they don't agree with you. I thought Dianne Feinstein was great. I thought she handled the kids well. I don't know if it was a teacher or the organizer of the kids.
It was an organizer, but what an example to set to those children, the rudeness.
But interrupting her, right.
Yes.
So I thought she handled it really well. But from my perspective, I look at, I'm rural Wisconsin, so you raise the cost of manufacturing by raising the cost of energy. One, people can't afford, it's cold there. We just had a polar vortex. They can't afford to heat their houses, but you increase the cost of energy and you start to ship those jobs over to places like China where they have no standards. And if we live on the same planet and breathe the same air and drink the same water, isn't it better that we have the best policies here to manufacture in America instead of making sure that we have policies that close our factories and send them to China or India? This is flat out stupidity from the left, and I think we should call it for that. And by the way, we love cows.
Yeah, we call it loony left. That's why I like that phrase very much.
Cow flagellants, but that gives you cheese and butter and milk.
I'm not sure I want to think about that right now.
Okay. So Tammy, the thing that's why I want that tweet. I really, we're in charge. There's something really menacing.
Well, there was another tweet where she said, "I'm the boss."
Yeah.
I mean,
I missed that one.
It's like a 7-year-old at the dinner table, deciding that they're going to make the choices. Yeah. But the larger problem here, too, I think, is in how this Green New Deal has been responded to. You hear about how it's too expensive. But the fact is, the problem is exactly what Melissa was saying, is that it's not too expensive, of course. It will destroy lives. That's the answer. And that should have been, of course, Feinstein's answer in that, look, it is elitist. Everyone's going to have to pay more money. You're not going to have heating oil next year. All of these things that make it a destructive force. That's what has. The moment you skip over what it really is to the cost, you kind of give up to this idea that it's feasible, that you should actually consider it. We should no more actually consider that. Than if somebody said everybody would have enough money if every now and then everyone robbed a bank. Well, you would not entertain that idea as let's see if we can count up how much money we'd have. No, you would say that's bad. We won't go there. But secondly, with Feinstein, she was also criticized for like being mean to the kids and talking down to them. She's the adult.
Exactly.
She's the adult.
They were so rude.
And she was nice considering.
Exactly right.
But this is a woman who is a mother, who knows how to talk to children sometimes. And that's I think Americans see this for what it is. But the argument against this hoax is not to skip past the hoax itself, which presumes it's relevant, but to start picking it apart as being.
Well, we're going to do that very regularly on our Looney Left segment,
Excellent.
which we love. Now, here we are. We've got the comb, we got the salad. What could possibly go wrong?